Hello Scorpio, thank you for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Don't forget to like and share. If you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoy it. It's a general reading. So in the first house we have lunar eclipse change. So your first house is everything to do with yourself, your physical body, your vitality, your self-oriented interests. It's also to do with what you project outwards to others. So if you have a very strong ascendant, then this would, would be in place for the first sort of 40 years of your life. After that, your sun sign starts to appear really quite strongly. So, so what you're projecting outwards is usually what other people see. So that's your observable characteristics, your personality, and so on. It's also, the first house is also about your personal independence, how you are making your way through the world as well. You know, what's going on in your daily life, your normal routines, and so on. So with lunar eclipse change coming in, it's indicating that there are changes occurring. So this could be physical changes. It could be actual physical changes to your body, perhaps going through phases of some kind, but because it's a lunar card, it's going through the phases of the moon, so this indicates things like cycles in your life. It could also be your moods and your habits, and all of these need to be managed on a daily basis. Particularly when you're in a relationship with somebody else close by, you will reflect and they will reflect back at you. So whatever you're projecting, they're going to also reflect back to you. So manage your moods, observe your habits, think about what you're doing in relation to others. And if those need adjustments, then so be it. This card can also be about changes in attitude, perception, and outlook as well. And this could be forced on you through some kind of upheaval or some kind of change or something that occurs where now all of a sudden there's a lot of introspection. You're now looking at yourself deeply, your habits, your moods, your outlook on life, your perception of things will have changed in some way because of this event, whatever has occurred. Or you could be going through a cycle. Perhaps a cycle is ending and another cycle is beginning. You could also be feeling incredibly sensitive at this time. Maybe memories are surfacing. Maybe a memory comes up to challenge you in some way. It could also be a revelation of some kind. Perhaps it's associated with your particular ethnic identity or where your family roots, because the moon can also rule family. Perhaps something comes out which changes your outlook on life in some way. As I said, it could also be physical changes, so this could be women's issues, or it could be other issues to do with women. Perhaps you're observing that in others. This can also bring about a change in eyesight as well. This card could also bring something to light for you. This could be a bubbling over of something. So it could be something that's been overlooked, or you just didn't acknowledge, or you just didn't deal with directly. Now it comes up front and center to be dealt with. So something comes up, and it's going to come up, even though you may be sort of subtly aware of it, it will come up with speed, and it will need to be dealt with then. But whatever it is that's coming for you, it's going to bring the new in. It's a necessary change that needs to be made. So you could also be, if you're in a significant relationship, it could be that the relationship is going to a new level. You kind of were thinking about it, you knew it might happen, but the speed of it would take you by surprise. Or you may need to transform this relationship in some way, whichever way it's going to be for you. There could be a sudden development of some kind as well to do with others or within yourself. With this change coming in, it could wrap up within a 6-week period, or it could unfold over a 6-month period because it's following the cycles of the moon. Yeah. Then in the second house we have Neptune sacrifice. So your second house is your house of income, your money coming in. It's also the house of your self-worth and your value systems. So this is covering all forms of ownership as well, whatever you own, your possessions, and that's linked to your value systems. It's also about what you value in yourself and what you value in others, concepts that you like or perhaps don't like, and those need to be looked at periodically. And your issues around self-worth as well. So with this card coming in, it may indicate that from a self-worth point of view that you're perhaps sacrificing too much for something or too little for something. Not saying, no, we're not saying that sacrifice has to be part of everyday life, but there are, depending on your makeup, your karmic history, and so on, there may be issues around that which you need to deal with. So it could be too much sacrifice or too little. In other words, you're not prepared to compromise on certain things. But it could also be that this is related to purely an income issue coming in. Perhaps there are things that you need to just do less of or do without in order to make yourself more comfortable. It could also be a boundaries issue. So you need to get clear on what your goals are. Be realistic about what your goals are in this house. You may be needing to make sacrifices for the greater good. Therefore, that is an ego issue. You need to address issues to do with your ego. Any fears, any illusions, any fantasies have to be done away with, because Neptune can bring in the illusions and the fantasies, right? So you don't see the realistic side of things because you're too caught up in the enchantment of a Neptune. It can throw a veil over things, so things just don't seem clear. So do everything you can to make things clear, all right? Stay grounded, especially when your path is unclear or you're facing confusing circumstances. Stay grounded and do everything you can to be realistic about your goals and stick to those, stick to your boundaries. It could also be just purely Neptune's rays affecting you in a way which is all about imagination, inspiration, and the harnessing of your artistic abilities. And this can bring in additional income, right? So it could be something that you're moving into, or some kind of ability which you're now harnessing, and that's bringing in additional income for you. It could also be as I said, anything artistic. It could be also Neptune is indicated for filmmaking, or anything to do with film, music. Any of the arts is highly indicated with this card. So you could be receiving additional income to do with that, or you are finding ways to create additional income through your hobbies and interests and so on, which comes from an artistic ability, which is going to be enhanced under the rays of Neptune. Neptune can also bring in escapist tendencies. So this is like just being unable to actually face reality or deal with certain issues. You just can't face them. It can bring up issues to do with addiction. So this is income coming in for you, which is being funneled into unhealthy addictions. That needs to be addressed. You may need to be funding medicines in some way for a change of lifestyle, or something that you need to do, some sort of health issue. Allergies could be coming up and they need to be dealt with. You need to funnel additional income into that as well to deal with it. So just see how this card comes in for you. Then in the third house, we have Libra I balance. So the third house is everything to do with communication, how you communicate, how you express yourself. So this is written, verbal, anything online which you're typing away, any kind of communication, how your body language, how you speak, just how you conduct yourself in general, your self-expression. It's also the house of documents and written things, contracts as well, anything written. It's also the house of short trips, short journeys, local trips. So with communication, it can be with anybody really. It can be on a wider public forum, so really dealing with the public. It can also be communication with certain family members, which would be cousins, siblings, aunts and uncles, or even neighbors may come in. So with Libra coming in I balance, it's exactly that. Libra is a very gracious sign. They like harmony. They like to go the middle path in all things. They can be incredibly charming. So that's what it's asking you to do, is to, if there's any kind of situation going on, or any kind of discussion you need to make, or anything written, any kind of self-expression, pour on the charm. Okay, that's going to be highlighted for you. Your negotiation skills are going to be highlighted. But in all cases, it's about balancing your needs and desires in conjunction with others. So with, if it's to do with a relationship, and perhaps you're going through, you're grappling with what you need to sacrifice or what you don't need to sacrifice, or balancing your own needs in association with others or another, you don't lose sight of what you need to do. You don't lose sight of your own needs, which need to be fulfilled, but there is compromise and balance required when it's in conjunction with others, okay? Partnership is highly indicated with this card, so you may just be finding that with whatever communicative situation you're in, or whatever it is that you want to say or do, or any kind of contractual documentation issue, it's sometimes good to team up with somebody else, team up with another, or form a partnership. It could be a romantic partnership or some other kind of partnership. So partnership or an alliance is highly indicated with this card. So linking up with another can be very beneficial. You could also be solving conflicts in some way. Libra is all about that. It's about negotiation. It's about bringing balance into something. You could be receiving mutual support for something that you want to do, or in some endeavor that you're involved in. You may need to also have a romantic overtone to what you are saying or doing, especially if it's in conjunction with a close person to yourself. Or it could just be perhaps you're a writer, and bringing romantic overtones in is going to be helpful for you at this time. But it's a very loving, charming, refined outlook, a romantic outlook, which doesn't have to be a love situation. Romance you can bring in by enhancing your environment in a romantic way. You may also be required to make a decision with this card coming in. This is something that you've been sitting on the fence for some time, and you need to make a decision now. Best make it, otherwise it will be made for you, and it may not be the outcome that you want. Legal issues might be finding resolution with this as well. This is a rules card. This is about following the rules. And you may also be having legal documents to be dealing with at this time with this card. But solving conflicts come in as well. So you can expect a resolution, and it could be very favorable for you as well. Also, relationships may deepen with this card. So with any one of those close relationships I mentioned, or it could be with someone else. But this is a very much a relationship card. It's a partnership card. It's an alliance card, and it's about balance and refinement. Then in the fourth house, we have Black Moon Lilith mystery. So the fourth house is your house of your home, your physical home. It's also the atmosphere in the home, the people in your home. But I feel with this card, I get the feeling that it's actually to do with also your relationship with your family life, your family history, your ancestry, your ethnic identity, where you come from, your foundation, your roots. So something could be coming out of that to be dealt with at this time. So this is very much a something under the surface, something lurking under the surface card. So it could be that something to do with your home. So you haven't got all the facts. Something needs to be done, but you haven't got all the facts yet. Something is not known, so you've just got to wait. You're in that pause period while you wait for things to develop. You could be waiting for something to happen. So take time to rest during that pause period. You could also need to stand firm in some way within your home environment. Or as I said, you could be seeing some sort of family situation, or some sort of issue from your foundation, your roots, your family life, or your ancestry, which is coming up, something not known, which is now coming up. Or it could be a family secret, or some kind of fact which is now coming to light, which you weren't aware of, and now it comes to light. Or it could be that you are seeing darker emotional issues in your family tree, or in your family members, or within yourself, which is coming from linked directly back to a family member, something like that. So you could be seeing some sort of shadow emotions coming out, either in yourself or in another. Or you're tracking it in your family tree, but it's kind of this card brings up feelings of bitterness, anger, revenge, even, or fears and angers and obsessive behavior, or feelings of rejection, or bitchiness, even feelings of being overlooked. Perhaps you've not been the favorite in the family and you've been overlooked consistently, or something like that comes up. And it's about that. It's about you harboring deeper emotions and having no unhealthy outlook, or losing control of your emotions, or you're seeing it around you in some way through the people that are close to you in your family environment or in your ancestry, where where deeper feelings are being expressed, and you're seeing it. It's all being laid out there at this time. So it's like undercurrents going on, and it suddenly comes out to be dealt with. It could be obsessive behavior even. So yeah, just be aware of that in this fourth house. In the fifth house, we have Mars Force. So this is an action card, but the action may be, there's a variety of ways it could be manifesting. Your fifth house is your house of your children, or children that you're associated with. It's also the house of your creativity or creative projects that you're busy with at this time. That's not necessarily artistic, that's creative. It could be in any way, a shape or form. Or it could be your children are going through this in their creative side. It's also the house of love affairs, and it's the house of recreational or fun activities of all kinds. So this could be clubs, sports, any kind of recreational activity. So Mars Force, this is a take action card. So take action towards something that is important to you. In any one of those areas, or it could be that your children are needing to do this, or you're needing to guide your children to do this. This card may also bring in action associated with competition or defense. So this is defense against somebody who is overbearing or is challenging you in some way, or it could be that you're facing a challenge of some kind, or you just may need to go after what you want in some way. So if this is a person that you're attracted to and that you want to start a love affair with them, it could be that you may have to compete for them in some way, or you may have to take decisive action towards them. It's about going after what you want. It's about being passionate and fired up, feeling driven or determined, willful even. So sports, games, speculation come into this. So this is speculative activities like gambling or stock market, something where you are actually taking a risk. The best way to handle this energy is you could go off kilter and be completely aggressive. That's not what this is about. This is about measured, assertive action. You don't want to be rushing either, because that will create problems. So it's about seeing what you want and going after it, or you may have to compete, or as I said, defend in some way from somebody who is challenging you in some way, or some kind of situation is challenging you in some way, and it's playing out in the fifth house. But it could also just be that you're feeling very passionate and fired up about something and you want to take action on that. Then in the sixth house, we have Jupiter return benefits, a lovely card coming in for you. Sixth house is your house of your workplace, the work that you're doing, your work colleagues, your work projects. It's also the mastery of your particular craft, whatever it is that you do. It's also your daily routines around that. It's your house of health and diet, and it's the house of pets. So with Jupiter return benefits, what this is something, because it's a return, Jupiter takes about 12 years to go right around the zodiac. So it's saying that something from a decade ago or up to 12 years ago, it may come back to you now. And if something does come back to you like that, it's going to bear fruit. It's going to bring something to you in some way. So something from the past bears fruit. And it could have been an idea, it could have been a business, it could have been an opportunity that just didn't manifest at that time. It could have been somebody that you wanted to be with at that time. Just something from the past comes back in some way. But because this is falling in your sixth house, it's something to do with possibly an opportunity, work related. It could also be that you're resolving a health issue which has dogged you from that time. And now you're finding resolution for it as well. So it's something coming back, and it's going to bring benefits for you. It's also about earned luck. So this could be something that you started some time ago, and it's now coming back with results. and it's just about being prepared. This is earned luck. So this is preparation and work that you've put in previously is now bearing result. So you're going to be able to advance your goals in some way in the 6th house. Doorways open for you, obstacles are lifted, and progression is possible now. So this is the green light for you, and it's called the Yes card as well. You may be receiving gifts of some kind, or good fortune is coming to you. This card can also manifest dreams. So possibly it's an old dream that you had, or something that you dreamt about some time ago, and it's now manifesting for you. Or you can just pick a dream from before and really focus on it. With this card, you've still got to work at things. You've still got to harness and manifest what you want. But this is the opportunity is heightened for you at this time. It could be a reward coming for you as well. It's a destiny card, so this is something that's meant for you. Yeah. If an opportunity does come up, you need to seize it quickly. This is a seize the moment card. You need to seize it quickly because the opportunity won't be around for very long. It will come up and then it will subside. So if you see something coming at you, or it could be multiple opportunities, you must follow them all because somewhere in there is the right thing for you. When it comes to health and diet, just be aware, as I said, something may come up and be resolved now, something that you've been grappling with for some time. Or it could be that you need to just be a little bit aware that with a Jupiter return, it's going to bring benefits, but it can also bring overindulgence. So watch your diet, be discerning about what you put into your body at this time. You can enjoy yourself and have fun, just don't overdo it. It's about being discerning and not overdoing things, because you can go overboard with Jupiter. Then in the 7th house, we have Saturn, truth. So the 7th house is everything to do with your personal one-on-one relationships. So this is a love partnership, or it could be a work partnership as well, or any other close personal relationship one-on-one. With the Saturn card coming in, this is about truths in some way, whether you're facing truths or truths are coming up to be faced in your relationship. But it's also about wisdom and maturity. That is Saturn. Saturn is wisdom and maturity, is about age. It's about coming of age. It's about being responsible. It's about taking responsibility, but also gaining maturity. That's really what it's about. It's a slow-moving energy. It's a maturing energy. And with whatever your goals are in the 7th house, it's about practicality, realistic goals. It's also about foundations and structure. With Saturn coming in, anything that is not built on a strong foundation will simply crumble away. It has to, because Saturn is about building solid things, about good solid structures for future success. So you must have a strong foundation for the relationship, whatever it is. And sometimes you have to prove that. So you go through restrictive periods or stressful periods because that foundation has to be proven. Okay, so sometimes that comes in for you. This is also a duties card. This is about being dutiful, being responsible. In some way, you have to take responsibility for something in this relationship, whether it's yourself or your moods, which came up, or your goals, or your group, your joint goals. There's something coming up which requires attention, or it could just be that your foundations are being tested at this time. So if this relationship, whatever it is really worth it for you, and you can see the wisdom of it, and that it is a strong relationship which you want to work on, then you've got to make it or break it. That's what this card is about. If it's going to, has long-term benefits for you and you can see a future for it, then you've got to work at it to make sure it's strong. But if it's not working for you, then this card is asking you to test it and actually, get the truth of the situation. Also, there might be correction of some kind in a relationship here as well. There could also be age issues. Perhaps you're dealing with an age gap, or the person you're involved with is now grappling with age issues, or you are. So this is maturing of the body. It could just be also that you're thinking about your old age together, and there's issues that need to be dealt with there, where you're going to go, what you're going to do, how you're going to live. All these issues may be coming up now, which is also a form of foundation testing, yeah? So it's structure, it's responsibility for your old age, responsibility for your situation. If you're with an older partner, taking responsibility for your side of the relationship. In one day they may not be there. Things like that. It's that kind of physical body, but also age-related issues, and this is to do with finances and foundations and partnerships and all of that coming in for you. Then in the 8th house, we have Yod, Destiny. So this is kind of connected to the relationship house, actually, because this is the merging of one with another. So whether this is in a business partnership or in a love partnership, it's the merging of your emotional and material resources. So that's finances, that's your home, your possessions, and your actual emotional side as well. The deeper commitment. It's also the sexual commitment between you as well. So if it's a love relationship, if it's a business partnership, then it's all the finances and the ideas and who has control of what and the responsibilities and so on. All of those things come in. So it's really about that. 8th house is also about big finance. So you had your other money house, which was your income. This is about your big finance. And there's definitely financial issues going on in your chart this month. So this is about the long-term finances. This is more the big stuff. Like this is insurances, investments, taxes, and assets and trusts, legacies, inheritances, all of those sorts of things, banking and accounting as well. So all of that comes in. Also, this house is about handling other people's money. So you may be in that, maybe it's your profession, or you're doing it on behalf of somebody else, or you're doing it on behalf of your partner. It's all about that. And this house also can be a sort of a beginnings and an endings card. Things can begin after an ending. It has that kind of power, this house. So you've got another destiny card. You've got quite a few, actually. You've got quite a few this time around. So with this card coming in, because it's a destiny card, you can't force issues, right? Things have got to go along as they're supposed to go along. So, but the opportunity is very good for you to achieve your goal at this time. But sacrifices are involved. So sacrifices has come up a few times here. So there's definitely some kind of issue to do with that. Either you need to adapt in some way, or you both need to adapt in some way, or you need to adjust what it is that you're sacrificing for the greater good. Okay, so this involves ego. It involves a whole lot of issues which are requiring attention at this time. So you may be very fixed. You may be very fixed in your ideas or what you feel that you're prepared to do, and those fixed ideas require an overhaul of some kind. It could be that as well. This card is about there's some kind of disruptive force going on in this house. Something is disrupting the status quo. So perhaps an upheaval or some kind of rearrangement is required, or just an overhaul of how things are progressing from a financial point of view. Some kind of disruption has occurred, and now you're facing a few things that need to be dealt with. This card is about patience. It's about dedication as well. And it's about being adaptable, as I said. So your attitudes or your methods of doing things may require adaptation of some kind. But this card is also about feeling a bit alone as well. Perhaps in your outlook or in what you want to do. Perhaps you have a few things, if you're not connected with another, it could be that you're want to do certain things in your finances. And you perhaps just don't feel like you're getting the right support from anybody. And that's as it should be, because this is about finding your own truth card. And that you're not going to get input or support from others, suitable input and support from others at this time, because you need to follow your own guidance. You need to, access your own inner GPS and go with what you feel is the right thing to do. You do know what to do deep down. You just have to access it. It's about finding your own truth. You may feel different from others, or you may feel different from whatever it is that you're involved in at this time from a relationship point of view. But it's also about expression. You need to express what it is that you feel different about, or to put your, to express how you feel, and then tackle it that way. It's also about not giving up as well. You may just need to persevere with certain things, because this can be a pioneering card as well. You just may feel a little bit unsupported at this time, but this is as it should be, because when that happens, you go inward. And when you go inward, then that is how you access your pot of gold. That is how you access your very best guidance, okay? Then in the ninth house, we have Grand Cross Provoker. So ninth house is quite a broad house, carries a lot of weight in various areas. So this is about adventure and exploration of all kinds. It's about broadening the mind. It's about gaining wisdom in all forms, but it's usually to do with broadening of the mind, and this can be through international travel, any kind of international relations of any kind. So this can be travel, international travel. It can be dealing with people from foreign cultures, foreign belief systems, even traveling, as I said, and encountering foreign cultures and foreign belief systems, or you're busy researching it in some way. So it's you meeting the world, or the world meeting you in some way. It could all be totally online as well. Perhaps you have an import and export business, or you are involved with others that are, from other countries. It's also about higher education, this house. So this is university level education, which does broaden the mind, or it could be adult education. Perhaps you're wanting to study something. This house also deals with philosophy, religion, and belief systems of all kinds. It's also the house of teaching. So you could be a teacher, and this house is important for you. It's also about the law and the higher courts. It's also the house of promotional work or public relations, if that is your field, or you may be involved in that in some way. It's also the house of publishing. So this is you taking your ideas and releasing them to the world, okay? Or you're involved in it in some way, that process. So with this card coming in, it's pressure to grow. So there's pressure to grow in some way. There's tension in this house at the moment. You're being pulled in different directions. So it's about juggling. You may be juggling a variety of different things, which requires you to be flexible, okay? So flexibility is key. Your communication is key. You just could be feeling frustration at this time. There's just so much going on. And perhaps you're busy with your studies at this time, or you're grappling with some kind of exam schedule that you just can't get on top of, or you've got a lot of work on your plate that you're trying to get on top of. So it really is, as I said, pressure to grow. It's a difficult patch, but once you get through the difficult patch, then you will experience some form of renewal, okay? Some form of regeneration. This could also bring in a test of faith and wisdom. So perhaps your belief system is being tested, or your faith and your religion is being tested in some way. Or you could just be juggling too many things at once in this house in a variety of ways. When that happens, you perhaps have got too many options available to you. So what you have to do is prioritize what's the most important. Focus on those, get organized, and then just move towards them with sort of dogged determination, if I can put it that way. It really is about focusing and getting organized. So if you've got too much going on, that's the very best thing to do, is pare it down, only pick out the top priorities and follow those. Then in the 10th house, we have North Node, Life's Purpose. So with this card, it's a lovely card, yet another destiny card coming for you. This is your house of career, your fame, your reputation, your public status. It's also the house of authority figures in your life, which could be parents or somebody in your life close by, or it could be somebody at work, or a famous figure that you admire. It can also be just authority figures in general, or authority institutions that you're involved with, or the law can come up as well. So with North Node, Life's Purpose coming in, I feel this is about you finding your purpose in some way. Because it's a destiny card, this is going to come to you, all right? So this is positive karma. This is about being in the right place at the right time. So you in some way or shape or form, you're going to be moved to the place of your highest good. Or if you're facing changes in your career or in this house in some way, the changes that are coming about are going to move you to a place of your highest good. Okay, so doors open, opportunities come in swiftly, they sort of land in your lap. There's expansion of all kinds. Also karmic connections, and if you're not into the karma situation, then it could also be just like-minded people that you are joining forces with or you're involved with, and they're going to be very supportive of your endeavors, your projects, whatever it is that your ideas, whatever it is that you're trying to implement. So you're going to work well together, or they're going to support you in some way. So it's a very, very good card. It's a wonderful card. It really is you finding your purpose or getting on the path of your purpose and what you're encountering on that way. But it really is an opening of this process for you, which is going to lead you to where you need to be. Then in the 11th house, we have Aquarius, I know. So the 11th house is the house of friendships, so friends. It's also the house of your personal hopes and wishes and dreams and hobbies and interests. It's also the house of group activities of all kinds. So this can be you interacting with others in a group situation. So this can be a sports or a club or an association or a society. Anything like that. This house also covers global consciousness or group consciousness, social reform and causes, if that's a thing for you. And Aquarius is very much about that. And it's also about futuristic glimpses, visions and dreams, your dreams, but also of a group as well. So now ideals is another aspect. So with this card coming in, you could be getting future glimpses of some kind for your personal hopes and dreams and wishes, or it's part of your group situation. So you're getting glimpses of the future, or you're able to tap in to social trends or trends in the world at this time, or you're seeing trends in the world at this time. This card is a futuristic card in itself, this Aquarius energy. So this is about kind of knowing what needs to be done. So you'll feel, or you'll get a glimpse of the future, and then you'll know what to do. Or you could be part of a group which is kind of moving forward in some way. You could also be involved with upgrades of technological nature. This is computers, any kind of tech and electronics. You're going to be receiving an upgrade of some kind, or you're going to be involved in an upgrade of some kind, or your friends are getting an upgrade of some kind and you get swept up in that. It's also about science. This is all futuristic stuff, science, space, anything to do with that. It's about cutting edge things. Anything cutting edge falls under the Aquarius. It's also about mastering something new. So this could be you mastering something new, or you're in a group which is mastering something new. As I said, trends are highly indicated with this, but also it could be unconventional things going on. You're seeing unconventional things, or you're tapping into unconventional things, or you're just involved in unconventional technology. Anything like that, anything that's not normal or is very futuristic may come to you at this time. This card is about, if none of that is applying for you, this is about having reasoning abilities, detachment, rationality. And you may be needing to do this in conjunction with a friend or a friendship of some kind. Perhaps you need to apply these qualities at this time. You could also be receiving support from friends or alliances of some kind. This is for your particular ideas or something that you're wanting to implement. You could also be meeting very unusual or different people, and maybe you're making friends out of them. People could be quite eccentric, or they're just bohemian, or they're unusual in some way. They just could be very different from you. Perhaps they have a different sexual orientation, or they've been brought up differently, or they're from some other country, or something to do with that. Or they could just be very exotic in their way that they conduct themselves. So all of that could be coming in for you at this time. Then in the 12th house, we have Earth element stability. So your 12th house is the house of your unconscious self, your unconscious beliefs and drives and motivations. It's also the house of your spiritual life. So this is your meditation, your mysticism, and even healing falls in under the 12th house. So obtaining healing or being involved in healing or seeing healing in others. It's also the house of reflection and solitude. So going on a retreat, spending time by yourself, just getting deeper understanding. It's the house of service to others as well. So you could be in that profession, or you could be involved in that in some way. It's also the house of karmic lessons coming to you. And it's also the house of escapism of all kinds, and addictions of all kinds. It's also the house of your experiences in institutions of various types. So this can be hospitals, it can be universities, libraries, government institutions, banking institutions, any kind of situation like that. It's your experiences in there. So with this card coming in Earth Element Stability, this is about, I feel, possibly trust issues. And this may have come up as well to do with a relationship before. This is about trust, obtaining trust or being trustful of another, or trustful of circumstances, or trusting yourself as well. So there may be issues around that which require your attention. So trust, faith comes into this, taking responsibility for that in yourself, and also about having patience, being methodical, being organized in some way. So in all cases it's about growth, okay, and all of these issues are about growth as well. So time in nature is highly indicated at this time, so perhaps the odd retreat here and there to spend time in nature is very important. Being outdoors, all kinds of earthy interests, so that's whether you're working the land, growing your own food, gardening, anything like that. Just spending time close to the earth is important. And this could be from a lifestyle point of view. Perhaps you need to change your lifestyle quite dramatically, and all of these things are indicated because that's going to bring you peace in the unconscious self, all right? So perhaps you've had escapist or drug or addiction tendencies, and now you need to take control and deal with that. Or you could be doing it through another. But a lifestyle change could be indicated in order to bring that stability and that earthiness into that groundedness, taking responsibility for your own self and your dreams and what you want out of life. This card could also be about examining outdated, stubborn views on things, old-fashioned views or views that just don't serve you anymore. Examine that. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to change a few things. Fear of change could be holding you back in some way. You'd rather stick to your old ways than change it up a little bit. You may also need to sort of get organized and declutter a few things. Perhaps your mind is cluttered with certain things, or your unconscious self is grappling with old things that need to change now. So also materialism and hoarding comes in. And this can be emotional hoarding, and it can also be material hoarding, all right? So look at all of those sorts of things you don't need anymore, things that are just not working for you anymore. You could also be meeting powerful and influential people at this time, and that is going to be a catalyst for you in some way. They're going to be very helpful towards you in whatever 12th house way that is. It could be about changing your lifestyle, it could be getting control of an addiction, or it could just be harnessing your own inner power. They're going to help you in some way. You could also be going into business in some way, which could be covered by 12th house issues. So whether this is involved in some institution of some kind, or perhaps you're going into some kind of spiritual practice, or it could be just that you are going into service to another, or service to others, some kind of service industry. Could be a business around that as well. Okay, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. And I hope you have a great month, and I will see you next time. Take care.